right, next up we have Alexis Dickerson. Hello, how are you today?
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Certainly. So if the audience didn't hear before, Alexis Dickerson is the Senior Director of Community Conservation at Potomac Conservancy. Can you tell us a bit about Potomac Conservancy, your work there, and how you guys, work to protect the environment and promote conservation in the Potomac watershed?
Absolutely. Potomac Conservancy is actually celebrating our 30th year of leading the fight for clean water in our region. So happy birthday to us. Our focus is on bringing people together to take actions that make a difference for our local environment. So we do this through a variety of ways, including direct land protection work, policy work that focuses on things that affect clean water, and boots on the ground community-based work where we encourage folks to get their hands dirty or their feet wet in the fight for clean water. So our big focus is on restoring the Potomac River to a reliably swimmable or fishable place for people to experience and visit. One of the key ways that we do this is translating the science of clean water into understandable and actionable information for the public. So we do this by publishing a report card every few years. It helps people to understand and keep a pulse on what's happening to the river, where it's been, where it's going, and what the current status is right now. So one example of this is in the 1960s, Lyndon B. Johnson declared that the Potomac River was a national disgrace. So that's how dirty the river was. At that time, if you had fallen into the river, you might have been told to get a tetanus shot. So that's how unsafe and unhealthy the river was. My dad grew up in DC in Southeast in the 1960s. So that means a lot to me when I hear something like that. So we want to get more people involved in the fight for clean water so they can understand how clean water affects their everyday lives and understand what they can do about it.
Certainly, yeah. It's always been a joke that if you fall into the river, like you said, you need to get a tetanus shot, or you might grow an extra arm or something like that. So I'm glad you guys are doing that work. I've also seen on social media that there are some people have jumped the gun and they're just ready to jump in immediately. And I don't know if it's time yet. So I'll take your lead on that. I won't follow the folks on social media.
Oh no, that's actually a great lead-in. So with our report card, when we started recording how the river was doing, it was getting a D grade. So the river was really not a safe and healthy place to recreate and play and to eat food out of. But we've actually gotten all the way up to a B. So it's actually a really hopeful story. There are still some significant challenges that we're facing, but the river's doing a lot better because of the collective efforts of so many organizations like the ones that you're speaking to today, as well as other local advocacy organizations. So it is overall a positive trend and story, which is a great thing to be able to tell people. But we've come a long way from Lyndon B. Johnson shaming us all.
Certainly. Yeah. In my household, if I got a B, that was still a good thing. So, you guys, are doing a great job over there. If you don't mind, can you tell us how can individuals and communities contribute to the conservation efforts that you guys are working with along the Potomac River?
Sure. We actually, a great way to follow us is we have an events page on our website, potomac.org/events. So we do local community cleanups on a regular basis. We have several that are going on this weekend, which are probably already full. So don't run to try to sign up for those, but we have more coming up in May and June that you can participate in. If you're in DC, we go to places like Kenilworth Park, Anacostia Park, Fort DuPont, and more. If you're in Prince George's County, we're in places like Fort Washington, at Fort Foote, Oxon Hill. We also do cleanups in Northern Virginia and Montgomery County. So no matter where you are, you can join and get involved with us. In the fall, we actually do seed collection work. One of the big challenges for this region is that there's so much development still happening that we're losing a lot of trees. And so that pressure means that there's a big initiative around reforestation, and that's really important for clean water. In the fall, you can join us to do some seed collection work. So you can join us just for a volunteer event, or if you are someone that sees yourself as a leader, you can join us as a volunteer and learn to lead some of these activities in your own community, which is great.
Amazing. Yeah, I think I might have to sign up for a couple of those things. It seems to affect my area, and I can't wait to swim in the Potomac River. That's like, sort of unimaginable, but I look forward to that day. So can you tell us like, your website, or, if you guys have social media, what are some ways that people can follow you all and stay abreast of the missions and,
Yeah.
and things that you guys have going on?
Sure. Potomac.org is the best way to find us. Just simple, type that in and you can get to our website. On social media, I believe we're Potomac Conservancy. So you can just at us at all the different social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram specifically. We are also a member-driven organization, so we are proud to have 30,000 members in support of our efforts, but we need more voices represented so that we can hear the concerns that are affecting all of the communities in DC. So you can also join us, become a member, and then start to get your voice included in all of our conversations and our efforts.
Amazing. And I know that next week on Thursday at our Bridge Creative Salon Earth Day discussion, we will have you there and people can probably talk to you then about how to get involved. And we look forward to your comments on our discussion about plastics versus people. I know, you would know better than me, but plastics in the water is never a good thing. Not for, swimmers or sea creatures. And so we look forward to seeing, you answering questions and engaging with our audience to figure out, some solutions and how folks can get further involved. And I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. We really love this conversation and we look forward to talking to you next week at the Earth Day Salon.
Thank you so much.